Right, so here we are in the standalone app, and as you can see, it is quite daunting. I mean, this preset is called Sine Galactica, and I'll just play you a little bit, just so you can see what's going on. Very nice. So you have the kind of same layout Cherry Audio Synth. So you've got your redo, undo. You've got your settings, account, interface, general, and audio MIDI. You've got your zoom function. So I'm at 120%. You've got your MIDI. You've got your panic. You've got your tempo. You've got your QWERTY keyboard, and you've got your oversampling, which I normally just leave at 1. And then you've got your online help, and then you've got the focus button, which is pretty cool because some of these are, I mean, for somebody with crap eyesight like me. So yeah, so because you do use quite a lot of these smaller buttons up here, so that is quite a handy thing, especially on this one. The preset menu is the same kind of idea as the GX80. So you've got all your collections, and you can go in through, you've got Fountains, you've got Houston Singletary, James Dyson, you've got your user presets, and then I have already started working on some of my own for another preset pack. And then you can filter by genre, so you've got arps, basses, bells, brass, chords, growls, keys, leads, MPE, organs, pads, percussion, blocks, sound effects, soundscapes, which are mine, strings, synths, and some templates. So there are actually some templates. So you've got kind of DX style ones there. There's quite a few of those. There's a hard square, harmonic, triangle, pulse wave modulation, saw, soft square, and sync. So you can always start off with those, or as usual, you can just create new preset and we can start off from scratch. So we'll have a look at oscillator 1. Because like I said, they are all basically the same. So if you can hear that, I'll just turn up the volume a bit. So that is your kind of basic sine wave, and each one has a level and a pan. There's a whole lot of LFO possibilities for modulation. So you've got sine, triangle, sawtooth, sawtooth exp, sawtooth log, 3-step, 4-step, and then ramp, and then ramp, exp, log, 3-step, 4-step, square, and random. So it kind of defaults to triangle on the initialized preset, and then you've got up, down, and then ping pong. Then you've got syncs and rates and retrigger buttons there. You've got glide, you've got keyboard, you've got your ratios, you've got your pitch. So we're in, so you can go higher. So you got 4, 8, 16, 32. You won't be able to hear 32 probably. So you can hear kind of 4 a bit better. So it kind of defaults to 16. Then you've got your main frequency knob. And like I said, if we go into focus, you can see you have got a source, apply any of the LFOs, envelopes, oscillators, keyboard, and signals to modulate the frequency, and then you've got a via button, so you can, that's the source, and then you've got via something else as well, all the same ideas, and then you've got either a positive or minus mount, and then you've kind of got the same idea for the feedback, the phase, width, the shape, the wavefold, and the drive. So if I move along, it's easier to see. So you've got your super oscillator and your sub oscillator. So this, so the super is a plus octave, and the sub is 1 octave down. So you can see how it changes the shape. So if you can hear that's gone up, and this should take it down, which you can barely hear even with the level full up. So that's gone down anyway. And then you've got your filter bypass utility, which allows you to copy and randomize and reset the oscillators. And then you've got the solo button, and then you've also got another source button for the levels as well. So like I said, and you've got a pan for left and right. You've got your main filtering envelope with ADSR and velocity, and then you've got the cutoff and resonance. You've got the amp envelope, envelope 3, envelope 4, which are both ADSR with delay and velocity. And then you've got the 4-bank mod matrix, where you can see on this init patch that the source is LFO1 and it's going via the mod wheel, and it is modulating all the oscillator frequency. So that is the main oscillators. So if I go back to focus and scroll down, so you've got the ARP, where you've got octave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got up, down, key order and random. You've got sync button, and then you've got the rate, on, off, and hold. You've got the keyboard assigned, so you've got number of voices, so it goes from 2 to 16. And you've got poly 1, poly 2, and also chord memory, single and unison, note priority, and you've got the detune, multi-trigger, distortion. So you've got tube, grunge, fuzz, sample crush, and tone and level, and you've got drive, tone, and level. And then the mod effects, you've got the chorus, flanger, phaser, rotary speaker. You've got a rate, depth, and feedback. And then delay, you've got stereo, ping pong, and tape delay. And then you've got time, feedback, damp, and spread. And the reverb has spring, room, plate, hall, and galactic. And it has a decay and damp. And then you have an EQ there. And then you've got your master volume, the pitch, the master pitch, and the master drift. And you've got limiter. So bump that up. You've got your glide amount, your bend depth for the pitch bend. And your octave shifts down and up, and the usual pitch and mod wheels. So that is more or less everything that you can control. We'll start off with oscillator 1. So if we start folding the wave, you can see the oscillator changing there. That is it wave folded all the way back up to sine. So you can see you're going through. So we put it about maybe thin, about 70–80%. And like I said, we can. So if we can change the ratio. And obviously you can control that as well by modulation. And then you've got your width. So we go into 0% through 50 up to 100. So you've got your frequency here. You got You've got frequency, you've got positive and negative. So that is semitone, so we're down to -12 to +12. You've got your feedback, so that's going to feed back the LFO back into the oscillator. And then you've got the phase. So we could have a negative phase. And then you've got your width. So you've got 0 to 100. So we could maybe we'll just leave that about 50. And then you've got your shape. And you can see this change in the waveform. So you've got -100, and then back to 50, and then back up to +100. So we could kind of maybe make that -60. And then you've got a drive. So you can see on the standard init that the Modwheel is adjusting the frequency by a small amount. So it's set to all oscillators. As you can see, they're all going. But you could have that just as oscillator 1, for instance. We could just change that to oscillator 1 frequency. So that is the kind of basic way of changing the waveforms. And then obviously you've got all these other, so we could add some more attack and release. That's just one oscillator. We could, for instance, modulate the feedback from LFO2. We can just ramp that up there. We can go into that's a negative. And then we could modulate the pulse width by oscillating to LFO3. I mean, like I said, the mod matrix part of it is one of the kind of, I think, the main features of this, that you can pretty much, I mean, you could modulate, you know, pretty much the whole thing just from one LFO if you wanted to. Like I said, you've got 4 of these to play with, so the actual modulation possibilities are almost endless. I haven't even touched the effects yet, so take some of this off and we'll just go back to that. Let's just adjust that feedback. So yeah, so I'll let you hear what some of the effects sound like. So let's say we put some distortion on. Just take this. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty grungy. I didn't even touch the drive or the levels yet. So that's tube. We've got grunge. Whoa. Quite dirty. I'll just take this feedback down a bit. That's grunge. Fuzz. And we've got sample crush. And last but not least, tone and level. So that is your distortion. You've got the mod effects, so it kind of defaults to phaser. So we'll start off with chorus. Flanger. Which is very nice. And then we've got phaser. And like I said, you can adjust the rate. And feedback, we take the feedback back down. And the depth. And last we've got rotary, which I do like using rotary. So yeah, so some really nice effects with those two, and then you've got your delay, and then we can take the feedback down a bit. So you've got stereo, you've got ping pong. Turn the spread up a bit. And then we've got tape delay. And then we've got reverb, so it kind of defaults to hall. So we start off at spring, so let's put the way up a bit. And then we've got room. Which is very nice, and so is plate. Galactic. Switch the delay on as well. Stereo delay, turn the spread up. So yeah, so some nice effects, and then we have an 8-band EQ, so we can adjust that. Probably not going to have a huge effect on one oscillator, but we might not be able to do much difference. So yeah, so that is EQ, and then let's say you've got your master pitch, so -1, +1 semitone, and your drift. And that's it, master volume. So and I'll let you hear what the ARP sounds like, so I'm sure this is going to work with this particularly well. In fact, let's put this lower a bit, let's try. So up and down, we're going through 2 octaves, so and then we can either sync it and go to 8th dotted 4th triplets, or up to 16th. Whatever 16th is. And like I said, you've got your pitch bend and modulation. So, and you can obviously adjust the bend depth. So it is quite low to start with, and then you've got a glide amount as well. So if you've got a keyboard and mod wheel, so we can get the mod wheel to adjust the width. Oh, my keyboard's gone. So we are on oscillator 1 and pulse width, and then if we ramp this up to about 3 o'clock, so you can see, if I put on focus, so you can see that that pulse width is moving as well as the frequency. Or we could go into negative as well, so we could go to 9 o'clock, which is 25%, and it will go into negative. And like I said, you could just keep adding on, so you could have the mod wheel adjusting 4 things, and that is just that's just one oscillator. So yeah, so you've got, you know, endless possibilities. I mean, the easiest thing is once you've got one set up, you can just copy it to oscillator 2 and then adjust the wavefold and like the phase. And maybe bring in the sub. So we could yeah, so like I said, pretty easy just to muck about with that, and then we could start pulling these back in. That is a kind of quick overview of SINES. Well, it's not really quick, it's going on far too long. Anyway, as usual, if you're enjoying these videos, remember to like, subscribe, share, comment,